Financing can be intimidating. We picture a banker in a business suit with a power tie, making you sign documents with tons of tiny little miniature print. But this is an intro to real-world financing and how we do it in another episode of Ask Prof. Joey C. One of our strong suits as a business is we have access to capital. I mean real access to capital. When the deal comes along, having that money to execute on the deal at your fingertips is a major key. And there are three things that you need to do to make this happen. Number one, have a basic understanding of capital markets and how financing works. Number two, know who the people are and the banks and institutions are that are going to lend you the money. And number three, how to execute once someone or something is willing to give you the money. Disclosure, I am not an attorney, so consult with an attorney before you execute on any strategies you learn in these videos. Capital markets. The capital is the money, and the market are the people or the institutions who are going to give you this money. You're being charged a certain price for using this money. That's the cost of capital. That fee is usually broken into fees and points and an interest rate, your APR or your APY. People are going to base what they charge you on, one, the market rate which other investors are charging to use their money in a similar investment class. Two, how risky they perceive your investment to be. And three, how much are you willing to pay? As a baseline, we use the stock market. The appointed powers, aka the overlords of Wall Street, aka the government, the mega wealthy power mongers, will tell you that this is a moderately risky investment and a good place to place your money. Let's assume they're not lying, and we'll use this as our baseline required return. Wall Street yields an average of about 7% if investing over multiple years in the stock market. So this will be one of the metrics to determine a fair rate to pay to use their money. The other good thing to know is what mortgage rates are and how much banks are charging to use their money. Investors will perceive real estate as a risky investment, so you're going to have to beat the banks and probably beat the Wall Street return as well. So we offer our investors 7 to 9%, but we used to offer 10 to 15%. You say, wow, that's high. But later we will tell you why this still makes sense in real estate investing. The reason you may have to go this high is that investors will perceive you as being a risky investment based on your experience, your track record, and knowledge of what you are doing and how much collateral are you willing to put up against the loan. Most investors will be trying to get the highest rate of return, and this is something you can control by using solid negotiating techniques. We'll save these techniques for another video. Who will lend to you in these capital markets? The capital markets is like a shopping mall full of money. You have your high-end stores. These stores are overpriced, and frankly, they don't even want to deal with you. They're too big for you. These are your big banks and large private equity firms. This is a waste of your time, and they're going to perceive you as an extremely risky investment that is also not worth their time. Then you have your middle tier stores. Let's call these your TJ Maxx's or your Marshalls. These stores are hit or miss. Some places will lend to them and some won't. These are your medium-sized banks and smaller private equity firms. Oftentimes, as a first-time investor or a small investor, these are also going to be a waste of your time. And then there's the mom and pop businesses. They want your business. They need you. And these are your small banks and your wealthy individuals who are looking to A, lend smaller loan amounts to you, or if they're a wealthy individual, they're very interested in receiving a higher rate of return by investing with an individual investor. The SEC will tell you who a wealthy individual is under their laws, also known as an accredited investor, under Rule 501, Regulation D. So, this is how we do it. In our model, we borrow from a wealthy individual or a private equity group, and we buy and rehab the house using these funds. Then, once the house is stabilized and rented, we refinance it with a small bank. The bank then pays back the investor or the private equity group, and we do it all over again. These banks that are giving us these mortgages on these investment properties are usually small local banks where the commercial lender you're dealing with still actually has some personal touch with you and with the people who are going to approve that loan. This is key. You don't want to waste your time with some newbie banker at a large bank who can never get the deal done. Then there's step 3, which is the execution, the most important part of raising capital. So many people think they need to keep educating themselves or learn one more thing from some guru out there before they can actually go out and ask for the money. But execution is much simpler than that. So here's a brief overview of the steps to getting the money. Number 1, identify your target and ensure they meet the accredited investor qualification that we discussed earlier. Number 2, think about what you're going to offer them. Can you pitch 7% or do you have to sweeten the pot to 12%? Investors often get caught up on the rate they are paying compared to the bank rate, but they are not looking at the big picture. Here's an example. If you're borrowing $100,000 for 6 months to buy, freshen up, rent, and refinance a property, that money costs 10%, which is $833 per month or $5,000 over the 6-month period. But at 7%, it's $583 per month or $3,500 over the 6-month period. So to an investor, 10% is a lot better than 7%. So you can explain this value to the investor by saying, Wall Street's gonna give you 7%, I'm gonna give you 10%. That return is 40% higher than what Wall Street can do for you. And your financial impact of doing 10% compared to 7%, as long as you get the deal done in only 6 months, is only $1,500 out of your pocket. So ask yourself, is $1,500 gonna make or break your deal? And if it is, the deal was probably bad from the get-go, so bail out before you even buy it. The biggest mistake is not getting the deal done. If it's gonna make you $400 a month cash flow once you rent it and stabilize this property, then what's the big deal about spending another $1,500 to make the deal happen? Number 3 is prepare to present and make your pitch packet. In your pitch packet, you should have 1, a pro forma income expense statement on the subject investment property. Number 2, a construction scope and budget. And number 3, a brief bio and company write-up on you. You should also have a professional Facebook page at a minimum, a LinkedIn account, and possibly a very basic web page that talks about you and your company as an investor. Number 4, documentation. These are the basic documents you need to raise money. Consult with your attorney, your accountant, and whoever else you want before doing this. Number 1, a mortgage note, which is the document that ties the money to the property, giving the investor the additional security and authority to take the property if you default. Number 2, the note. This is the document that describes the details of the deal, the time frame, the rate of return, etc. Number 3, the personal guarantee. This is tying you as an individual to the investment. Then it's the actual pitch. Here are a few pointers to help you through your pitch. Number 1, be honest and genuine. The people you should be dealing with will be smart, so don't try to BS them. That fake Rolex you're wearing will not fool them. Number 2, make sure you know the product you are presenting and have your plan down pat. Number 3, have your docs together in a presentable format. Number 4, look presentable. This does not mean a power suit, but put down your phone, dress accordingly, wear a collared shirt. If you're a contractor, maybe clean up your boots, but don't look like something you're not. Number 5, if you don't know something, then say you don't know it, but you will get the answer to them in 24 hours. Number 6, the close. Don't forget to ask for the money. So many investors put so much time and effort into finding the investor and then pitching to them, but they get scared to say, are you ready to commit the capital to this investment today? So stop spending so much time going after no money down or get rich quick schemes and just go out there and get the money. I know so many people who've made a lot of money by having access to money and doing actual investments. I don't know anyone who has made millions doing no money down schemes they learned off of YouTube. So Let's get out there and raise the money. And don't forget to follow us on Facebook, like our YouTube channel, check out our videos, and please comment and give us your feedback on what we could be doing better.